I've consumed so much content on how to sell books as an indie author that you would think that I would be an expert by now and that I would have no qualms about publishing or selling my first book. Well, honestly, you'd be wrong. And while there are a gazillion marketing strategies that you can use to publish your first book, I'm only one person and I can't do all of them. So I thought we'd spend today going over my very simple marketing plan as a one-person indie author team. This is my marketing plan for my debut novel, Connecting Flights, which is coming out in June 2024. So if you like books about a spoiled new grad and magical cults and magical beverages, this is the book for you. Honestly, I'm so proud of it and I cannot wait for you to read it. If you're looking for a fast-paced book to read on your next vacation, you can pre-order it. All the links will be below. So if you're excited to plan your own book launch one day and you want to get some inspiration from this video, please be sure to hit thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, as it does help the algorithm reach more future authors like yourself. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Christina. It's nice to meet you. I make books. I make books. I'm making books, yes. And before I share my book marketing plan for you to steal, I do want to remind you that I am currently accepting Practicum clients at no cost to you as I complete my book coaching certification through Author Accelerator. So the first offer helps you take your idea that's in your head and put it on paper on an outline so that you can actually start writing your book. This spot is filling up very quickly. The second offer I have is if you already have a manuscript written and you want detailed inline comments and feedback on that manuscript. The third offer is helping you pitch your manuscript to agents if you do not actually want to self-publish. And again, if you do want to self-publish, this is just a great offer in terms of learning how to market your book itself. These application spots are available until August 2024. Spots are first come, first serve. After that, it will switch to a paid offer. So please contact me if you're interested in any of these offers. kristinealysebooks@gmail.com. You can pause it. Here's my email on the screen here, and all links and emails will be in the description and we can talk about it from there. Now, I'll be honest with you, my strategy isn't glamorous at all. I don't plan on dropping a ton of money on Amazon ads or Facebook ads. Trust me, I already dropped enough money on editors, but that is for a future video. Instead, I'm going to be focusing on 100% organic marketing through social media and through real life. So organic marketing just means no paid advertisements. All my marketing strategy is free. So let's head on to my office and I will take you through all the plans of my launch of Connecting Flights. Okay, so my first strategy is to tell everyone in real life and online about my book. So if you're doing this and you haven't told people about your book yet, like it's a secret for you, you can either scream it from the rooftops and say, hey everyone, I'm writing a book. And the general reaction that you're gonna get is like, oh my God, that's amazing. Or you can be a little bit more casual about it. When someone asks you what you're doing on the weekend, you can say, oh, I'm just writing. And when they ask you more questions, you can reveal that you're writing a book. I want you to start talking about your book before it's even written, before the first draft is even written. My phone just moved because my cat is choosing to nuzzle my phone. Like, if you have decided that you are going to write a book and you are going to publish a book, then that means you need to start telling your friends and family that this is happening. Because if you don't talk about the book is not going to sell itself, right? You are responsible for selling your book. The second strategy is that once my book is finally out there, I'm going to ask friends that I'm close with to hold the book, take pictures of the book, and post it on their social media. Simple as that, word of mouth marketing. It doesn't take any effort at all. And because I've already told them I'm writing a book, because I've already got them excited that I'm writing a book, they are primed to be like, oh, of course, like, thank you for including me in this exciting time in your life. The third strategy that I'm really excited about is that I'm going to have a book launch party. Now, if you are a huge introvert, don't click off this video. When I first thought of a book launch party, I kind of rolled my eyes because there is no greater hell to me than sitting in a room with a bunch of other people reading my own writing while everyone else is sitting and they're doing this polite applause, and I don't know if they've actually liked it or not. So that's not happening for my book launch party. Remember, you are the author, you are in control of your plans, you don't need to do what everyone else is doing. So my book launch party is I'm going to order a cake with the book cover on it. I'm going to invite a few friends over. We're going to eat the cake, we're going to take pictures, and then I'm going to share those pictures. I might even force them to play some trivia about the book just as a joke, knowing that they haven't read the book, but just kind of make it a fun competition, and maybe the prize will be a signed copy of my book. The fourth strategy is that I might even have an online book launch party, but I haven't quite worked this one out yet because I do want this one to be some sort of an educational workshop that anyone attending it will feel inspired about writing or publishing their own first book. So if I do decide to do that, that will be announced here on YouTube, on the podcast, on Instagram, wherever I am. The fifth organic book marketing strategy is basically every piece of content that I create until June, until the book comes out, I'm going to talk about my book. So you'll notice in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that, hey, my book is out for pre-order, but I'm still not an expert in selling it yet, right? But that still brings awareness to the book. I'm going to put my cover in images anytime I talk about it. It's anytime I post on LinkedIn, on Instagram, I'm going to talk about the book. And I did start doing this before I even knew I was ready for publication. I want you to start talking about your book from the second that you start your first draft and you know you have intentions to publish a book. It's okay if the story changes. Like, for so long I thought I was writing a romance novel and that's how I was presenting it, but it's no longer that. And you know, I've documented my progress, so here we are. But every time you talk about your book in a piece of content, if you are creating content, boom, that is a free ad for your book. Strategy number 6, these videos that I'm making right now, I repurpose them as podcast episodes. So for some of you, you are listening to me from your phone and you're hearing me talk about Connecting Flights, book 1 in the new Grad Magic series. Strategy number 9 is that I'm posting about my book on LinkedIn. What? This just blows my mind. I thought LinkedIn was for job searching, traditional jobs, networking, all that stuff. But it is quickly becoming a new social media platform, and it's kind of been that way for a while, but there are ambitious people on LinkedIn. My book, the main character is very career oriented, and the ambitious people also need to take vacation and read fiction books. So I'm posting about my book on LinkedIn. Strategy number 10 involves back matter. Now, if you don't know what back matter is, it's basically when you read a book, at the end of the book, there's acknowledgments, but there's also things like, check out my next book, check out this book by this author. Anyways, in that back matter section, I want to include either a snippet of book 2 or a teaser of when book 2 will be available, and then a link if it's an ebook to sign up for the newsletter to get more updates. I don't intend on going too hard with the newsletter promotion. I'm already doing a lot of things, but I do want a place for readers that I know are interested in book 2 to get that information. So I will be setting that up in the back matter of my book. Strategy number 11 is a pre-order campaign. So in addition to talking about your book before you even start writing it, before you even have a publishing date, you can think of a pre-order date in mind. But be very careful with this, because if you're not sure about your pre-order date, especially for Amazon, and you need to change it, I've heard that's not so great for the Amazon gods, for the algorithm, all that stuff. I would definitely advise talking about the book, but don't set up your pre-order links until you're fairly positive this will be the final draft. My pre-order link is set up for June because I'm very much at the very, very final draft. I'm very close to working with my proofreader and setting up the formatting. Before that, I wanted a buffer for deadlines, working with editors and all those things. So I just continued to talk about the book, but I didn't set up the pre-order link yet. Okay, I have 2 more tips for you, and then I have a bonus tip for you at the end. So make sure you keep watching. My 12th strategy is just to vlog the process. This podcast, this YouTube channel, you've seen me do NaNoWriMo. If you haven't, you can check those vlogs out. By vlogging the process, I'm in turn talking about my book, so that brings more awareness to the Connecting Flights series. And then my last strategy, number 13, before the bonus tip, is to stay focused, stay in my lane. Once book 1 is out, keep marketing it, but also just start working on book 2 and documenting the process. It is so easy for me to be like, book 1's done. That was a lot of work. Let me just do all these other random projects that have nothing to do with book 2. But it is a goal to release a series, so I need to stay in my lane. And that's not really a marketing strategy, but your first book and your second book and your third book, they all become great marketing tools itself. You have a series that you can talk about. That's an awesome marketing tool. So really, I just want to stay in my lane with the series that I'm writing, not get hung up on what other people are writing, what I should do, what's trendy, etc., etc. And a bonus tip for you to remember is that once your book is out, once your book launch is over, once you've sort of finished your book marketing plan, it doesn't mean that you have to stop marketing. It doesn't mean the marketing deadline is over. Once your book is out, you can market it indefinitely. There are so many ways that you can revive an old book. A pretty common strategy is to change the covers. We see this all the time in traditional publishing and in self-publishing. And again, any book that you write, once it's out there, that first book becomes a great marketing tool for your next book, because if you can get people hooked on the first book, then they're going to want to read your second book and your third book. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, I highly recommend that you check out these videos to help you fast track your career to becoming an indie author. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.